Today is Thursday, April 18th, 2013. I'm Rebecca Beard, and welcome to this week's edition of the Brock Commons Network News. First, here at BCN, our hearts are going out to Boston, Massachusetts, and those impacted by the tragic events that occurred at the 117th Boston Marathon Monday afternoon. Jake Smith has the story.
Usually the finish line of any marathon is a place for joy and celebration of accomplishment. But in Boston, at the Boston Marathon on Monday, the finish line was transformed into a euphoric hell of fear and pain. At 2:50 p.m., the first of two explosions occurred on the north side of Boylston Street, yards from the finish line. Approximately 10 seconds later, the second detonated about 100 yards west of the first. At this time, both CNN and the Associated Press are reporting that nearly 170 athletes, volunteers, and spectators were wounded in the incident, along with 3 tragic deaths. President Barack Obama took the opportunity at his press conference to console the victims of the Boston incident. He also took the opportunity to let those affected as well as the U.S. people, that the people responsible for the incident would be brought to justice.
We still do not know who did this or why, and people shouldn't jump to conclusions before we have all the facts. But make no mistake, we will get to the bottom of this, and we will find out who did this. We'll find out why they did this. Any responsible individuals, any responsible groups will feel the full weight of justice.
To public knowledge, while the incident is still under investigation, no arrests have been made as of yet. For BCN News, this is Jake Smith.
Thanks, Jake. Next we come to Longwood University, where students collaborated to do some volunteering for a local charity. Reporter Emily Beall with our story.
Tuesday, Longwood participated in the Tom's One Day Without Shoes event. The event was held between the Student Union and the Doral Dining Hall. The event was put on by Students for a Class as well as by the organization Amore. Amore supports orphan aid organizations in Latin America.
They support helping children, children's health, education, and stuff like that. So they do a lot of programming that supports giving back to children, such as the Toms.
One Day Without Shoes encourages people to walk barefoot to experience what children in poor countries go through daily. It also helps to show the impact a pair of shoes can have on a child's life.
It goes more than, the shoe experience. It also goes towards their self-worth. Since they don't have shoes, and sometimes those shoes that are donated by Moore or Tom's, etc., it helps their self-worth, help them feel more important. So it's a self-esteem booster as well.
For every pair of shoes purchased through Tom's, they match this by sending a pair of shoes to a poor child in another country. The organizers added a twist to the event this year where students, faculty, and staff could donate shoes.
And those shoes that we get are going to Faces, and they're going to give them out on Saturday when they give away food and different things.
The shoe department has also partnered with the event organizers this year and will be donating shoes. To learn more about One Day Without Shoes, check out their website. With BCN News, this has been Emily Beall.
Thanks, Emily. Finals week is quickly approaching at Longwood University, and students are already starting to feel the effects of stress and exhaustion. Reporter Dani Roberts is here to give them a few pointers for how to make this week just a little bit easier.
It's that time of the semester for students at Longwood University. The week of April 29th through May 3rd is finals week and is one of the most unpopular anticipated weeks of the semester. During this time, a lot of college students feel the heat of finals and can sometimes dramatically affect their stress levels, which in turn affects their attitude. Joseph Cruz, a freshman at Longwood, talks about what he's noticed about students during finals week.
They get really irritable. But, it's kind of, I guess, understandable because some people, finals are a big deal to their grade. But I would say they get kind of irritable.
Some students are so anxious about finals that it could sometimes lead them to dangerous circumstances. According to a national health survey, more than 30% of college freshmen report to feel overwhelmed during college, which is a factor in some cases of depression. During finals week, students are so motivated to study for their finals they end up harming themselves. Cruz speaks of his sister and how she handled finals week.
Well, I know my sister, when she gets really stressed, she's a senior now and going into the last semester, she loses weight. A lot of weight. Some people just don't eat, when they get stressed, and that's, just what I've seen. Majority, they just, or they lock themselves up in a room and they eat junk food the whole time and they gain weight. So I've seen weight problems when people get really stressed during finals.
Although there are some issues with stress during finals week, there are always resources for students at Longwood to use, one of those being the Counseling Center. You can visit their website at www.longwood.edu/counseling. For the Brock Commons Network, I'm Dani Roberts.
Thank you, Dani. That's all for this edition of BCN News, and sadly, today marks our final webcast in the series. We thank you for watching as we sign off. For Brock Commons Network, this is Rebecca Beard.